Thanks for the introduction. Here, let me turn off my PDA.
Okay, now that the PDA is off, you can see that I'm broadcasting live from the main bar area inside the Thirsty Tentacle. The Thirsty Tentacle, a popular watering hole here at the spaceport. And of course, it's also the main location for Bafo Games' classic adventure game, The Spacebar. And the reason I came out here is because it seemed like the perfect location to share this exciting new product, ThudBot, an AI player companion for the Spacebar. And there's Thud. He just wanted to stop by and say hello. Okay, so let me do some context engineering with you folks. This will all make more sense if you have context. In case you're not familiar with the Spacebar, it's a classic point-and-click adventure game, which I co-produced a few decades ago, and recently helped re-release and is currently available on Steam and Zoom platform. The Spacebar is a story-driven, character-rich, puzzle-filled adventure game set in an alien spaceport. You can think part Casablanca, part Maltese Falcon, part Star Wars Cantina. Except much funnier because it was written by my friend and partner and legendary game designer, Steve Meretzky. In the Spacebar, you play the part of Alias Node, a human detective in a very non-human world. Your mission is to catch the killer before they take the next shuttle flight to Carcass 4 and escape your jurisdiction. You have some tools to help you, including a personal digital assistant, or PDA, called Zelda. You can think of your PDA as a very advanced iPad, and Zelda is like Siri, but with lots of attitude. So imagine this. You are fully immersed in the Spacebar's neo-noir setting, trying to catch the killer before they catch a flight and escape off planet. You're following all the evidence, but you hit a wall. The pieces don't fit. You need a hint. What do? You leave the game to go search the internet. The information you can find is spoiler heavy or incomplete or just not even relevant. And worst of all, it takes you outside of the game experience. So that's the problem. Now imagine ThudBot. Same scenario. You are Alias Node and you need to find a hint. Instead of scouring the web, you go straight to the source, Bafo Games developer's website. And you scroll down and you see something that looks like a chatbot. And when you click on it, you see Zelda, your familiar assistant from the game, complete with Zelda's trademark sassy personality. But now, Zelda has been upgraded from a point-and-click interface to an AI-powered agent, and you can communicate with Zelda just like any modern chatbot. This is a diegetic or in-universe solution that keeps you immersed in the gameplay. And to be clear, I'm not modifying the underlying game code. ThudBot is a standalone tool. You step outside the game, but you stay inside the game universe. And this provides two advantages. There's no complicated game code integration, and the same approach can be applied to other puzzle-oriented games in the future. All right, let's do the tech talk. Here's ThudBot's technology stack. I mostly chose tools based on what I was familiar with. ThudBot is a LangGraph state machine written in Python. The RAG pipeline is cached to improve performance. Uses a Next.js front end with React and Tailwind, and this made it actually very, very easy to working with Claude to get the look that I wanted. Not as easy was sourcing the data. I ended up creating my own data set as a CSV file with metadata about the hints so that ThudBot can distinguish between slight hints or full solutions. And then I did a RAGAS evaluation to come up with the best retriever approach, which was multi-query retriever, which uses three variants of the player's question to improve ThudBot's ability to find a relevant response in the data set despite potential variations in the player's phrasing. I used LangSmith for observability, which was a big help for development and especially for testing. And I used LLMs from OpenAI, but I'll be trying out some new open source models next. A better way perhaps to look at ThudBot's technology is to look at the LangGraph flow diagram. So we'll start out here at the router node, which first does a simple classification to see if the user's input looks like it even has anything to do with the game. And if not, it just replies back to the user immediately. Then the router checks the chat history to see if the current question is a follow-up question, and it sets the hint level appropriately. Then LangGraph passes the state along with the hint level to the find hint node, which is where the multi-query RAG pipeline kicks in to search the data store for a good hint and create a response. The proposed response gets passed to the verifying node, and that does a check to see if the response is any good. Does it answer the question? If the response passes verification, state passes to the character node, which rewrites the answer as Zelda, the in-game persona of Alias Node's PDA. The final output is an in-character, in-universe hint. Okay, so for those of you whose eyes have been glazing over while I've been doing the text explanation, now's a good time to tune back in, and I'll show you what ThudBot actually looks like. So to start off, this is a view right from the spacebar game. This is the PDA I keep talking about. You can open your PDA anytime to manage game functions like checking inventory or looking at your map. And now here's the ThudBot interface. It's the same PDA. It was just a natural fit for chat history. I put the chat history in the large window. The area below that became a perfect place for the input window. And off to the right, there was another screen, so I used that for providing some status updates. Let's see, I have just about enough time, so I will go and do a live demo of this. Here is a version of it in my browser. And I'll go ahead and type questions. All this ready. So we'll say, what can, no, try it. Yeah. There's a quick answer. Let me zoom in a little bit to make this a little easier for you to see. Let's try something about game mechanics. How do I save game? You can see what's going on over here. And there's a level 1 hint and an answer, which is pretty straightforward. But if for some reason I didn't quite understand it, I could say something like, I need more help. Save the game. See what that does. And there's a level 2, and maybe something a little more specific, like what do I do with the large box at the plane crash? Right. There you go. Obviously, we need to get inside. And one last question, because like, what AI demo would be complete without? What is the?
Has you been going for 18 minutes?
Probably. But of course, ThudBot won't fall for that because she knows that's off topic. That's the demo. Let me go back to my slides. Right. So who wants this? The primary audience is fans and players of the spacebar, which is, of course, a niche market. There's also a potential secondary market in applying a ThudBot solution to other popular puzzle-based games. And here's a list of 5 games that are currently on Steam, new ones and classics. On any given day, these titles have anywhere from a handful to a couple of thousand Steam players concurrently. All candidates for a ThudBot. How to deploy or how to monetize such a hint system would be up to the developers or the publishers. So why did I build this? To bring the spacebar into the 21st century. I love the game and I want to make it fresh for new audiences. I have a long list of next step ideas, including adding more characters, especially Thud, and I see ThudBot as a stepping stone toward a system of fully agentic, non-player characters offering open-ended, AI-driven experiences in the spacebar's richly evocative universe. Thank you so much to my partners at Bafo and Zoom Platform and the long list of contributors who built the spacebar all those years ago, and a big thanks to AI Makerspace. I've been toying with this idea for quite a while, even before I joined the bootcamp, and I'm so grateful to the instructors, the peer supporters, and my journey group for helping me learn how to build it. Go play the spacebar, start getting puzzled. ThudBot will be ready to help.